Hi, I'm Christina Simons.
And I'm Vera Spania.
And today we would like to discuss some of the questions that we've been receiving from our viewer audience. So the first question we received was from Julie. And Julie asked, are birthmarks from wounds that we've had in past lives? And I would say that yes, Julie, birthmarks do tend to be from wounds in past life and wounds that led to deaths in past lives that were from an unjust death. And I have a perfect example of that. I have a mark that I carry, but it's not a birthmark. It's actually a mole. And it's in the precise spot where I was killed unjustly in a past life. It's in my belly button. And so what's interesting is that it's relevant to this life, because the same person was in this life with me and they were doing the injustice again. And so it was an important, like a soul's reminder, this mark that I carried. So, because it was an important part of my lesson to not allow that injustice to happen again. And a second example I have for you is Angus is a master teacher on the other side. And being that Vera is a full trance medium, he's also her main channel. And we asked him what his, if he carries a mark into life, and he does. But it's not a birthmark or a mole, it's actually a scar. And he carries it, it's right here on his throat. And it's from a life in which he was poisoned. So it was a very unjust death. And he carries that as a reminder of that trust lesson. And now, Vera, you had done a hypnosis for a woman once, right? That had marks
Yes.
that she carried.
Yeah, and it was where she was like a log, or some logs fell on her legs, and she has like a line on both legs, like exactly in the same spot. It's just bizarre, but it was from that lifetime. And I guess people were like trying to chop down trees or something. I can't remember, for to get these people either killed or moved on.
Oh, so
she got caught in that.
Wow,
Yeah.
and it was on both knees. So
above the knees, just like right here.
And was she able to let go?
Oh yeah, during the session. Yeah.
During the hypnosis session, she could let go of some of that.
She let go, all right.
So you mean like emotionally?
Yeah.
I hear you. And then, not only though are our marks from other lifetimes, from wounds and so forth, but they can also be our imperfection on the other side that we carry into life with us. And what that is because on the other side we have an imperfection that's a physical flaw, and it's sort of like an ego check. And so people have asked us, well, if we're on the other side, why do we need to have an ego check? Wouldn't that be an automatic thing? And so what it is because, through our lives we're spiritually evolving, and we have the golden keys of knowledge that we aspire to attain, and these virtues and so forth, because we're perfecting. But we always know that only God is perfect. And so we have this physical flaw as a reminder of that. And it's also, I also think of it as like honoring God as perfect. And you had also mentioned that it was that you thought of it as
it's like a badge of, not courage, but a badge of kind of honor that you've been in life before, because not everybody comes into life from the other side. So it's like, I was a warrior, I went, kind of thing.
And do you know what your physical?
My gap in my tooth.
In your teeth?
Yeah.
Like between your teeth?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, and it's really interesting because like I said, sometimes we bring these into life, and my mother, she brought her imperfection on the other side into life with her, and it's a mole. It's right under her chin, right here, and on the other side, I have really alabaster skin, so I have a heart-shaped freckle that's right here, and you can really see it there. But I didn't bring that into life with me. But what's interesting is that when Vera and I were remembering, so many past lives, and I was really, connecting with who I really am, I started to pull that in, and it started to appear right here on my cheek again. So
did it go away?
Well, it kind of did in a way.
Yeah.
It kind of did, but just to be able to see it for a certain amount of time, I was very excited.
I know my grandson on the back of his calf had like a heart shape.
Are you serious?
I get that, not a mole, but a birthmark.
Wow.
And that was from that lifetime where he was Native American, and he was being shot with arrows and went through his calf.
Oh, wow.
Because it's just like a perfect kind of...
That is so interesting, because I was just going to bring up how we also know a gentleman whose imperfection on the other side that he carries is a birthmark from his favorite Native American life. It's in the perfect shape of an arrowhead, and it's right on his stomach.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting. So yes, sometimes the marks that we carry into life, whether they're moles or scars or birthmarks or gaps in our teeth or what have you, can be a wound from a past life, or they can be our imperfections on the other side. Now the second question we received is from Adrian, and Adrian is studying to be a Reiki master and a crystal healer. And his question is, how do these healing modalities fit into our chart when we've charted disease or illness? And so what Adrian is talking about is that we believe before we came into life that we charted out all of our experiences in life, and in every experience there's many different options we can take. And underlying all of that is the spiritual lessons that we want to learn. And so when we learn the spiritual lessons that are within these experiences, then we can move on and go on to the next experience because we've learned it. And so to apply that to healing, I would say that once you learn the spiritual lesson that you've charted, then you can move on and gain the healing. And that could be for many different reasons. Sometimes it's, charting an illness or disease could be to gain more inner strength. It could be to gain more compassion, or maybe even to know that the truth of our soul is the truth of who we are is our heart and our mind and not our physical body, what's happening to us. And you had mentioned too, Vera, that sometimes we chart healing.
Yeah, we chart the disease, but we also chart the healing as well. Because sometimes people say, well, why do people chart a disease? And you said why, but we also chart in to bring that healing for that healer to get that experience of healing in this life, right, or whatever life you guys are in.
Right. And to answer the second part of your question, Adrian, I don't think that it matters what type of healing modality that you choose. If the belief in that healing modality is there, then the power of its effectiveness is there. So I think of it like, say, a psychic, they might choose to use a crystal ball. They might use tarot cards or palm reading, but what they're really utilizing is their own psychic ability. Mm-hmm. So it's just the method of choice. Just like for you, I don't think it matters, like I said, whether it's crystal healing or Reiki or aura cleansing or what have you. It's your method of choice through which you funnel your healing ability.
Or infuse it from the other side, and then give that healing back.
Good point, exactly. And now I'd like to finish with saying that April is Vera's birthday month.
Yay.
And so from me and our viewer audience, Vera, we'd like to wish you a happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
And we're going to share some of our fun with you, and we'll be releasing our next video. It's going to be bloopers 2. We're going to release that during the month, so tune in for bloopers 2. And we want to thank you for joining us today.
And plus, it's also our friend Pam Trexler's birthday month.
And happy birthday to Pam.
Happy birthday, Pam.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.
I'm not sharing this.